On this episode of Hitch Hiking with the Harveys, Nelson, Monty and I head over the border through the beautiful Pacific Northwest in Washington State. We leave the beautiful Okanagan and head out into the Kootenays area of British Columbia. From there, we head to the Columbia Valley and visit Canada's highest suspension bridge at the Golden Skybridge. We experienced the Rail Rider mountain coaster and had a blast watching so many people have so much fun here. We take you to the picturesque Moraine Lake. So come hitch a ride with us. We woke up very early and took the 6 a.m. ferry leaving the Victoria area on Vancouver Island and arriving on the Vancouver, British Columbia side. We headed into the United States to the Peace Arch, which is just outside the Vancouver area. We drove alongside Pass Lake, which is in Washington. And then we found ourselves over the Deception Pass Bridge. We made it into Whidbey Island, but of course you can't not see these prowlers from the 1960s. I think they were used to the early 2000s. Then we continued on through the State Route 20, which is over the beautiful Cascade Mountain range. We made a pit stop at the Diablo Lake Vista Point, which you got to see the Cascade Mountains, and they are gorgeous, of course. But so is the Diablo Lake Vista itself. It's absolutely gorgeous and stunning and great places for photos. We stayed in the Okanagan for a couple days for a little bit of a break, and then we went through the Anarchist Mountain over Crow's Nest Pass Highway 3 and into beautiful Creston, where we stayed at the beautiful Dunlop House, a great Airbnb. Creston is a small town of just over 5,000 people in the beautiful Kootenays region of British Columbia. And this is a place we actually stopped at to look at places like the airport for Nelson. And we did spend a lot of time here because Nelson loves airplanes. You might be thinking to yourself, well, that's random. Well, yes, it is, but at the same time, places like this, we were looking around for land to purchase down the road as a retirement place to build and set up our forever home. And what a beautiful place with all these gorgeous mountains on either side. It was stunning. And the fact that you can get land here for much cheaper than where we live, which is an added bonus. And of course, we had to go for a nice coffee, and it looks like the Okanagan Valley with all its orchards. It's gorgeous. And yeah, this coffee shop was awesome. The location was beautiful. And that's Creston for you. Might be something you might see more of down the road. After staying in Creston for a couple days, we headed out onto Highway 95, where we found ourselves in Golden, British Columbia.
Hey everyone.
We're at the Golden Skybridge.
It's in Golden, BC. If that wasn't obvious.
It's a huge activity center. Behind us, they're throwing axes. They're also rock climbing. What else?
There's a zip line. There's the climbing walls, and there's a coaster. That's what we're here to do.
We don't have a lot of time today, so we can only pick one little activity. So that's a good one to start with, I think.
Yep.
And you get to go on the coaster twice, so that's
Sweet.
really nice.
Come and hitch a ride with us.
Oh yeah. The Golden Skybridge is home to Canada's highest suspension bridges. At 426 feet above an expansive canyon, it has the most stunning views of both the Rockies and the Purcell Mountains. Hey there, Harvey.
Hey.
What's up?
Another great Navy day.
Look at the view behind you. It looks like you might fall off. Is it far? Big drop? Oh wait. We are going on the mountain coaster, which is just over here, which looks super cool. Can't wait to go. You feeling like this might do okay?
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Get speed line on.
Yeah. After buckling up, they give you a quick little safety lesson, then you're off for an awesome thrill, reaching speeds of up to 40 kilometers an hour. Rail Rider Mountain Coaster is the largest mountain roller coaster in Canada. As you race through an old-growth forest between Canada's two highest suspension bridges, it features an up track that takes riders 1,180 feet up the canyon before they descend 2,195 feet. I strongly suggest if you are able to come to this place, make it a full day event because there's so many things I wish we were able to do, but we didn't have the time. We headed off to Trans-Canada Highway, Highway number 1, heading towards Banff. We had one more stop in mind, and that's to head to the Lake Louise gondola area. This is the ski hill that they use. Obviously, we're a little off season at the moment, but this is where we ended up having to muster for our next little excursion. So we had a little bit of time to take some photos, sit back and relax. There was a lot of driving, so stretching our legs and taking some pictures. As a mountain girl, this cannot get any better than the Rockies. Next stop, Merine Lake, and it's gorgeous. You might recognize it. Hi, Monty.
Yeah, we are
it's a
at
brisk.
Moraine Lake. It is a little brisky.
Brisky?
Yeah, a little brisky. And the water level at Moraine Lake is ridiculously low. It's a good 15 feet lower than it normally is in the summertime. Probably just hasn't had enough time for the melt to come down and fill the lake up. Whew, but yeah.
She brisk. This is the last
brisk.
bus ride in
Yeah.
for the day. Everyone's trying to get in all their little photographs and little hikes in right now. Obviously, we're going to show you a pano of all the things to look at around here. This is probably one of the most picturesque, what Canada is known for the most when it comes to lakes.
This used to be, I think, on the back of the $20 bill, this lake, with the peaks in the back here. Yeah. And we're going to go to that exact spot in a couple minutes here. It's just up a little hike away up here. Not very far of a hike, but... Moraine Lake is one of those iconic Canadian spots that used to be on the $20 bill, back of the $20 bill in Canada. Outside of the Chateau Frontenac in Quebec City or the Banff Springs Hotel, Lake Louise. 3 of those things are like within, I could throw a stone and hit them from us here. And they're like the most iconic Canadian things ever. So you take a good hard look down there. The lake is quite a bit lower than it normally would be in the summertime, but as you can see on the mountains here, nothing's really melted yet from the winter.
No, so chilly.
Yeah, so once the snow melt happens, hopefully that'll come up a bit. But you get that green lake. After this, we're gonna head over to Banff.
Spend the night,
check in the hotel, wander around. Yeah, putter around downtown Banff.
It's been like 30 years for me.
Yeah.
It's been since high school.
I've been here a couple of times. I had to bring Cameron, my son, when he was here. 9 years old. But it's a great time. I highly recommend it.
Yes.
You're not allowed to come up here anymore and just drive up here. No. You have to take the shuttle. No private.
It's expensive.
It's not cheap. It's was it $40 a person, $30 a person, depending on which company. Parks Canada does it, but there's a couple other actual private companies that do it as well.
And pay attention, because not all of them allow also a trip to Lake Louise.
Oh yes.
So we are not able to do Lake Louise on this trip just because we are on a very tight time frame, and we were hoping to do that today or first thing in the morning, but they're booked solid in the morning, and you need to book in advance. That's another thing. Book well in advance.
Way in advance. Yeah. Lake Louise is also shuttle only. You can't drive there anymore. So yeah, you have to book it. You have to park over by the Lake Louise gondola, and then shuttle into the Lake Louise area. Just there was too many people. Yes. Somebody on TikTok found out about this place, and the place exploded.
Hello.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, and I have to admit, if you take a look around right now, there's nobody. There's literally
very
nobody.
few. There's a wedding that's happening down at the beach right now, but other than that, there's really not much going on.
Yeah, and the company that we came in with on the shuttle, they said they were booked solid.
Yeah.
And it's now only the middle of June.
So if you came here back in the day when you had to park your car like 20-minute walk or a hike away, do it again. Get here. You basically have the whole entire place to yourself. And the further you go from the center of where everyone gets dropped off, the better the views. Because fewer the people. No one likes to actually hike, not even hike in a rough way.
Put any sort of effort into getting away from the crowds, and it doesn't matter where you are, any of the national parks in the United States, Canada, all the same. You hang a right or a left, and you just continue going beyond the first photo op. Nobody.
Because guys, look at where I am right now. Like, we're both here, and it is nobody. And that's just because we went a few extra steps.
When Kim says a few extra steps,
I mean, like
I think
5.
we might be, 60, 70 feet from where all the crowds are at the moment.
All right, you guys, we got to go catch our bus now.
Yep.
All right, until later. Bye, guys.
Come hit your ride, man.
Moraine Lake is a snow and glacial fed lake in Banff National Park, which is 14 kilometers outside the village of Lake Louise, Alberta, Canada. It is situated in the valley of the 10 Peaks at an elevation of approximately 1,884 meters, and the lake's surface area is about 50 hectares. We continued our road trip along the Trans-Canada Highway known as Highway Number 1. So we are downtown Banff, and it's busy, and it's like 8:30?
It is.
8:30 at night. So I'm going to spin you around and we're going to have a little wander back. Nice thing about this is that this whole section that we're walking in right now, it is pedestrian only, I think, other than buses, which you can see down there. So it's quite nice, but you can see that most people don't get it. They are literally on the sidewalk, as this whole area is for us to walk. So we're going to have a nice little wander. And look at those beautiful mountains up there. Holy cow. Pretty awesome. So how was your day so far?
Not too bad. Got to see Merine Lake. Got to go on a roller coaster ride. Roller coaster-esque ride.
Mountain coaster.
Yeah. Walked across the highest suspension bridge in Canada, I think. That was all in Golden. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
This is a beautiful downtown core. And keeping in mind, right now I'm filming on the 12th of June. So we're 9 days away from the longest day of the year, which is summer solstice, which is why, because it's so late, it's still so bright. It's very Bavarian here. When we were in Garmisch, Germany, it's very much similar. The buildings are very similar. I think Banff is trying to, mimic that. So
and probably the Swiss, German, Alp type kind of thing. Yeah, that would totally make sense.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. The time it takes to get from Calgary to here is about the amount of time it takes to get on the train to get from Munich to Garmisch. So you get into those mountains, and all of a sudden the prairies just disappear, and boom, mountains.
And then tomorrow, I'm not going to give it away, but we are leaving town, obviously.
Yes.
But we've got a few little things up our sleeve.
Just a hint: dinosaurs.
Lots of dinosaurs. So stay tuned.
Oh. And a Bass Pro.
Right, and we have to go to Bass Pro. And they have to have these garbage cans because you got to remember, we are in bear territory. We found something with my maiden name on it. And I was like, yeah, that's right. I'm so famous. Not just infamous. We're going to sign off for now, but we'll see you guys tomorrow.
You know it.
Bye. Next episode of Hitch Hiking with the Harveys, we take you to the largest Bass Pro in Canada. Keeping with theme, we also take you to the world's largest dinosaur. Then take you on to the Royal Tyrrell Museum, full of some of the most amazing dinosaur exhibits in the entire world. Live long and prosper for all my Star Trek fans in Vulcan, Alberta. We stop by and visit the Hoodoos. We hope you've enjoyed part 1 of this particular road trip, and part 2 is soon to come. So thanks again for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. If you enjoyed, definitely press that like button and come hitch a ride with us on part 2.